And how many of you have New Year resolutions? How many of you are following it or have been successful in following it? You know, every time, like around 1st of January, we think about we're going to eat healthy, we're going to exercise regularly, and then we think about our financial situations too sometimes. Some of us have the goals to improve our financial situation, and our second speaker today is going to talk about calculating your financial independence number. David, in his spare time, he enjoys studying personal development and helping other families with their finances. And in fact, we have had a few talks before about financial solutions. On a weekly basis, he also makes posts to his blog, and the title is Spreading Financial Confidence, one post at a time. And I have been to his website, and it's very useful. It's very useful information there. So let's welcome David.
Please pass this. Sure.
Okay, thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow members and guests. You know, I don't think that most people plan to fail. However, I do think that most people fail to plan. And I think that's definitely the case with retirement. And you hear all these stories about people not being able to retire so much these days. And then you hear the stories of people that do get a chance to retire, and you see that they have to have another job to help make ends meet. Well, this doesn't really register right in my brain, because I've always thought of retirement as a simple definition. And my simple definition is financial independence. So I don't think that retirement should be defined as an age. Once you're financially dependent or financially independent, you should be able to choose whether or not you want to work or not. So I think a lot of people think that planning for retirement is difficult and it's not easy. But what I want to do is I want to show you a simple way for you to plan for your retirement if you haven't already done so. So without any further ado, let's get started on this example. Now, filling the first few fields on this worksheet. Oh, by the way, I passed out something that I figure when you see how simple it is to do this, you're going to probably want to go home, put your own numbers in, and come up with your own retirement plan. So I want to get started on this. The first two fields are optional, the name and date. But what you need to start filling in is your current income. And then you want to think about, of my current income, what percentage of my current income would I like to have in my retirement? Well, we recommend 80%. However, it can be higher or lower depending on the lifestyle you plan on leading in retirement. So we'll do this calculation real quick. And so this person wants to get $80,000 a year in retirement. Well, I need more information than that. When do you desire to retire? This person wants to retire at 65 years. So now that we know what time you want to retire at, how many years is it until retirement? Well, this person is 35 years old, so he's got 30 years left until retirement. And the next thing that you need to fill out is how many years you plan on living in retirement. Obviously nobody knows that, but you have to make a guess just so that you can have some goals to aim at. So this person was feeling pretty healthy, so he was thinking of retiring at age 65, live until 90, so he's thinking about being in retirement for 25 years. You also need to record what you're currently saving per month for retirement. You need to also finally record the total amount that you have saved towards retirement. And that's all you have to enter, and the rest of it is just calculations. And what I did is I added a factor table to this worksheet, so you can use a regular calculator. You don't have to have a fancy financial calculator. But what this factor table assumes, it assumes that there's going to be 3% inflation, that there's going to be that you're going to get 9% return on investment before retirement, until retirement, and then you're going to get 6% return on investment during retirement. So that's the assumptions I'm making, and they're very conservative assumptions. It'll give you a good idea of what you need to do for your retirement. So let's get started. The way to use this factor table is you just go down the left side of the factor table and find how many years until retirement. So we said 30 years. So we want to circle 30 and then circle the blue numbers associated with the 30. Next, you want to go down to the right side of this factor table and you want to find the amount of years during retirement. And we said 25, so circle 25 and the red number in this field. That's why I had to give you a color copy, because this is all color coordinated. So now that you have all the factors, you want to move them all over into their proper location. You want to move the inflation factor to the inflation spot. You want to move the fin factor to the fin factor spot. You want to move the growth factor to the growth factor spot. And you want to move the savings factor to the savings factor spot. So now you're ready to do your calculations with a regular calculator now. All the legwork's been done for you. Okay, so you said that you wanted to get $80,000 in retirement, but you're not going to retire until 30 years. So you got to take into consideration inflation, and we were saying 3% inflation. So let's calculate what you're going to need to have in 30 years if you want today's $80,000. So that calculation comes to $194,000. Isn't that good to know that you shouldn't be making the calculation based on $80,000? You want to make it based on $194,000. And you're going to need and you said you wanted this for 25 years, so we need to figure out, we need to get this 194, 25 years into retirement. So we multiply it by this fin factor, and that's going to tell us how much this whole plan is going to cost us. $3.3 million to fuel this whole thing.
Really?
But don't worry, you already saved you've already put away $120,000 away for savings already, and you're not going to retire for 30 years. So that you still have 30 years worth of growth on this $120,000. So if you, and we were saying that's going to be 9% growth until retirement. So if you do $120,000 working at 9% over 30 years, you're going to get $1.7 million. So if you take away this $1.7 million away from the original financial independence number, you're going to get an adjusted financial independence number of almost $1.6 million. That's still kind of a scary number, but you have 30 years to get that amount of money so it can fuel your whole retirement goals. So what are the steps I need to take on a monthly basis to get that number? If you divide it by the savings factor, then you'll see that you need to put away $865.25 a month for the 30 years to get the adjusted financial independence number, and that'll fuel your whole retirement. But the thing is, you're already saving $450 a month. So if you take the difference between these two numbers, and you're going to get $415.25 that you have to add to what you're currently doing over and beyond what you're already doing. So now, isn't this good to know that you can add just $400 more to your plan? It's good to know that ahead of time instead of after you're already retired. So now that you see how simple it is to make your own retirement plans, I want to end with one word to you. If you actually end up in retirement working as a greeter at Walmart, I'm hoping it's because you want to and not because you have to. Thank you.